Hello everyone, my name is Ahmad Emrage. I'm from University of Benghazi. Today I will be talking about rural archaeological sites in Cyrenaica in terms of their typology, threats and disturbances that these archaeological sites are suffering from. And finally I will finish with highlighting the efforts made by local authorities and non-governmental organizations to mitigate the problems. We may start by identifying the geographical location of Cyrenaica. As this map shows, Cyrenaica is the eastern region of Libya that covers the area from what was known as Area Filinarum to the east of the modern Sirte today, from the west to the modern Libyan-Egyptian borders from the east. Although in the ancient times it was extended to Catapathmos, which is known today as As-Saloum in Egypt. This region of Libya is the home of a number of cities founded by Greek during the 7th and 6th century BC, such as Cyrene, that was founded in the last quarter of the 7th century BC, and its Harper, Apollonia, Ptolemais, Tokra, Eusperides, and some others. In addition to the urban sites, there are thousands of rural sites, mainly from Roman, late Roman, and Byzantine periods, scatters the landscape in the region. These rural sites vary from large fortifications to small farms, churches, industrial and agricultural features, etc. Generally, the rural sites in Cyrenaica can be categorized into two main categories: military and civilians. The military sites are also varied from large forts to fortlets and small watchtowers based on their sizes. However, the only building that could be considered as a fort in the whole region is the fortified building of Qasr Mutannab, which is located on the beach some 25 kilometers to the east of Benghazi. Its size at almost 1 hectare makes it large enough to be described as a fort. Other two types of military sites that exist in Cyrenaica are fortlets and watchtowers, such as the relatively well-preserved Byzantine fortlet of Qasr Benigdim and the small watchtower of Qasr Agila. The other main category of rural sites in the region is sites of civilian nature. These included fortified farms and open farms. And the first type is widely existed in the region and represented in a tower-like structure comprising more than one story and commonly containing an internal courtyard or light well with some defensive features or capabilities such as thick walls and a single entrance, ditch, and retaining wall or revetments. Moreover, they were generally associated with agriculture and pastoral features, and often the remnants of domestic and protective structures are to be found in a closer proximity, such as water cisterns and vats for olive and wine production, olive presses, rock-cut chambers for grain storage or animal stables. Sadly, these rural sites are under threat from both natural and human factors. Of natural factors is the sea waves or coastal erosion that happen during winter seasons that cause damage to coastal sites that include building materials collapsing, such as what we see in this video, recently recorded by my colleague Saleh Al-Arafi from Tokra. This video shows the impact of sea waves on the previously mentioned coastal fort of Qasr al-Mutannab. The urban coastal sites are also suffering from winter storms, as at Tokra, as we can see in these two images here, where up to 20 meters of the coastal line of the city has been lost in 40 years, according to results of a survey that have been conducted in 2004 by some Libyan and British archaeologists. Another two images that we can see here show damage caused by coastal erosion at the ancient small harbor of Al-Haniya that located to the east of Apollonia. In addition of sea waves or coastal erosion, other natural factors include cracks that probably happen due to light earthquakes and other environmental factors such as temperature. Sandy dunes also is another problem facing sites located on the coastal strip and pre-desert and desert areas. As we can see here, this crack starts from the top of the wall to the down on the previously mentioned site of Qasr Benigdim. In addition to the impact of the natural elements on the deterioration and damage to Libyan cultural heritage, problems caused by man is more serious. Of that, illegal excavation, which is one of the biggest issues that the Libyan rural archaeological sites are suffering from. Most of rural sites in Cyrenaica are located within private and tribal lands that are not regulated and guarded by the governmental authorities. Their isolated locations make them safe places for looters to conduct their illegal activities. Large excavations machines were also used, such as a GCP machine used in a certain mashaq, as we can see in this photo here. And in the other photo, we can see the tools that left by the looters where they can come back to the site and resume their illegal activity. And here also some other examples of looting tombs, Greek tombs around Cyrene. Urban development and vandalism remain the greatest threat to this priceless cultural heritage. In the necropolis of Cyrene, for instance, houses are built and still under construction over the Greek and Roman tombs. And we can see in this image, this is the same location before building this house, and how this house has disturbed the beautiful archaeological site. In the other image, we can see that the buffer zone of the Greek city of Ptolemais, is occupied by new houses. Deliberate destruction is one of the main issues that our cultural heritage in Libya is facing, particularly in Cyrenaica. For instance, this Greek tomb known as Tumulus that located in Massa, 15 kilometers west of Cyrene, was completely destroyed by the landowner in March 2015. It is the only example of this type in Cyrenaica. Sadly, it was. Another example of destruction is the Byzantine church at Erythron, 20 kilometers to the east of Apollonia, that was partly destroyed in 2014. This church was restored by the French mission more than one time in the last decade. Another sad example of deliberate destruction is what happened to an archaeological site was known as Artemis. This site that located some 20 kilometers to the west of Cyrene and known today as Massa was founded at the end of the 7th century BC and occupied at least to the 7th century AD. It contained different types of buildings, such as temples, baths, churches, and more. Unfortunately, Artemis has recently bulldozed by the members of the family live around the site. As we can see in these satellite images from 2012 and 2020, how things have dramatically changed. You can see here the remnant of the site still visible, but now it's completely gone after they bulldozed the remnants and built new houses in the area. And for the same site, Massawa Artemis, we have two GIS maps that made by my colleague Nasser Al-Harari, shows the archaeological remains of the site in the first map here, and the second one in red shows the destruction or the area that have been targeted by new houses. If we compare the two maps, we can see that the whole site has gone. Well, let's now have some sunshine. To mitigate the problem, we all believe that education is important key. Therefore, many programs have been organized and conducted by local authorities, institutions, and non-government organizations. Of these activities is a Heritage for All campaign that organized and sponsored by Department of Antiquity of Libya with some fund from Training in Action project. This raising awareness campaign has launched in 2018 and targeted school children, local communities, and stakeholders in 7 different cities and towns in Cyrenaica. In addition to workshops and lectures, booklets and leaflets illustrates Libyan heritage have been printed and gifted for children. This project will be resumed early next year, thanks for AFCB grant. Also, international days related to cultural heritage were a good opportunity for outreach activities. Of these is the festival that was organized by Department of Antiquity and Libyan Tourism Authority in 2018 at the city of Emrage to celebrate the International Day of Archaeological Sites in April 18. Among the attendees of this occasion were local community, tourist police, school children, and others. Some archaeological and traditional artifacts have been displayed along with short talks and explanations highlighting the importance of the heritage and in particular the archaeological sites. In one of the Roman theaters in Cyrene, historical plays are occasionally acted out by local theatrical troops, as we can see in these two images here. Also, during excavations, we do invite school children to come and spend a day with us. We use this chance to introduce the site to them, and we encourage them to participate in excavations. As we can see in these images, children from a school in Tokra visiting our training excavation site in 2017. On the left, my own 4 daughters are visiting me at Apollonia in 2017 and trying to help. Thank you very much for your attention and have a good day.